Now, this trial had its twists and turns, and breaking it all down for us since day one is former prosecutor and now criminal defense attorney Patrick McKamey. He joins us live now on set. And Patrick, Dalia's ex in this case here, the intended target, suggested today that the state didn't tell the jury the whole story, that prosecutors may have rushed through this case, and he was surprised that they didn't call him up as a witness. Do you agree with this?
Well, he's not the intended target, the ex-husband. He's not legally necessary. It's not necessary that they put him on from a legal standpoint in order to prove each and every element of the case. However, he does humanize the reality of the fact that, he was almost murdered by his ex-wife. And that could be significant. Remember, he was part of the winning formula in the first trial. He testified. He was on the stand a long time, so I understand the state's desire probably not to get bogged down with the case. However, he was pretty effective at defending himself in the first trial. And again, it puts a human face on the fact that a human life was almost taken.
The defense was declaring a victory today. How do you respond to that? Do you agree with that?
Well, I'd say victory is a not guilty. Right now it's 1-0. State won one, they haven't won one. So I wouldn't say it's a victory, but in light of the fact that so many people anticipated a not guilty, I can see how they can perceive it as a partial victory. But all they're going to have to do is, they're going to have to try it again. And right now, the only real victory is a not guilty.
All right. Patrick McKamey, once again, thank you so much for your time. We certainly appreciate your insight on this case.
Thank you.
And our Chuck Weber has been covering this case from the very beginning. Tonight, he is gathering new information and will bring it to us coming up on CBS 12 News at 6. And to read the latest on the Dalia Dippolito mistrial, including all news conferences and how we got to this point, just download our CBS 12 News app. Well, this trial has been a roller coaster ride for everyone involved, and breaking it all down for us since day one is former prosecutor and now criminal defense attorney Patrick McKamey. Patrick, are you surprised by today's outcome?
I think the whole community is surprised. I mean, you've got, really, you've got a divided jury that has now spoken. You've got three people who believed that Dippolito acted as the judge, jury, and executioner of her ex-husband in an attempt to do so. And you've got the other three in a completely polar opposite camp who believe that the police mistakes, the misconduct, or errors rose to the point where it sufficiently tainted the entire investigation to where it created reasonable doubt.
The defense's strategy here was to attack the police department, and it appears at least three jurors bought into it. But do you think today's climate of tension between certain communities and police will become more of a common line of defense now for defense strategies?
I'm not sure it will, because let's face it, this has been going on since OJ. I mean, attacking the police department. The thing is, John, is it's rare that you're going to get a set of circumstances where you've got evidence that you can latch onto and actually use and get mileage out of in front of a jury. Because really what you're doing is you tend to, when you're making that argument, you're deflecting typically the guilt away from your own client, and you're trying to put them on trial, which obviously, as we saw today, can be successful with some jurors.
And now we go for round three, as the prosecutor will try and go after this case and retry it again.
No doubt.
All right. Patrick McKamey, thank you so much for your time as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you.